Hello, my fellow project managers. A quick story about my PMP exam that might encourage those of you taking quizzes and getting them wrong and flunking the questions, and you're worrying and wondering, what am I going to do? Does it mean I'm not really retaining stuff? No, that's not the case. I need you to change your mindset. Your attitude needs to be one of, wow, thank goodness I found another gap before those crazy test writers at PMI did. Thank goodness I found my gaps before the exam did. That needs to be your mindset. So you need to see taking quizzes and mock exams as an escalator, taking you higher, not taking you to the basement of despair and defeat. Like some of you have said, Phil, I feel deflated and defeated. There's no need to feel deflated and defeated. You need to get your mindset right. And the mindset is, I am doing these quizzes so I can find my gaps. I better be finding gaps if I'm taking them. And when you find a gap, you should say, touchdown. Thank goodness I found a gap. Thank goodness I found another place I need to improve on before the PMI does. So what I need you to understand is that preparing for the PMP exam is like trying to solve a Rubik's Cube, right? Just when you think you are getting to solving that side, you see that another dimension is not aligned. So instead of a red adjoined with a yellow, you realize, oh dear, I've got a red with something else. You know what I mean? Out of whack, misaligned. So my recommendation to you is, if you're feeling burnout and overwhelmed, just chill for a minute. Get your head clear. It might need to be an afternoon. It might need to be an evening. Maybe just going to bed early can help you, like a magical reset button. I'm telling you, like when you go to bed early, like at 8 or 9 as an adult, and you wake up at 5 or 6 in the morning, your head is absolutely clear like a blank slate. That's what I would advise you to do. Have an early night, but wake up the following day with a vengeance, ready to take on the world of PMP. You should also reframe your mindset. You know, the great Zig Ziglar, he says it's your attitude that determines your altitude, not your aptitude. And that's how it is on the PMP exam. The PMP exam is not a test of just your aptitude alone. It's going to test your resilience. It's going to test your mindset, even without saying. So don't let quizzes feel like draconian or terrorizing. You know, like the real exam, my experience was, oh my goodness, 1 hour in, I'm only done with 20 questions. What did I do? I had to remotivate myself, fire myself up, and remind myself of all the crazy quizzes I did, all the time I spent locked up in that Mesa library. And I said, I ain't gonna quit. I gotta pass this exam. I changed my mindset right there in the exam. And that's what catalyzed me to ace the test on my first try. So quizzes shouldn't feel draconian. They shouldn't be terrorizing. Instead, it's an opportunity, my friends, to discover new ideas, new perspectives, new pieces to the puzzle that you hadn't considered before. You know what my mantra is? My mantra is find your gaps. No, let me do it in my voice-over guy voice. Find your gaps before the PMI does. Find your gaps before the PMI does. Before the crazy sheriff coming to town finds your gaps. So, look, what you're doing on these quizzes is finding your gaps. Feel good about it. Don't start feeling beaten up. And then I want you to review what you got wrong so you can understand. There's no need to go back to all your books and start reading them all over again. Definitely not. What you need to do is focus on your notes, summaries, areas where you are confident, but have a review. And then when you take these quizzes and you find subject matter that you haven't studied or that's new or foreign to you, just go back, read it up. So just be encouraged. And you also need to remember, those of you who are our students, I put out a free mock exam a few days ago. People feel all beaten up over it. And honestly, it's not to make you feel beaten up. It's there to help you see how cray the exam could be. You know, those question writers at headquarters, they got a lot of time on their hands. You know, there's actually question writing workshops. You talk about writing a user story. Well, the PMI, they got question writing workshops where they get people in to write questions. And these questions are passed from process to process and beefed up. And at the time you're seeing the question, you don't know that it's gone through like tons of people's review. Not only do we have the real exam where we have pre-test questions being tested, but we also have people who are not on the exam testing the questions, writing the questions. So I want you to understand that our mock exam is deliberately harder than the actual PMP exam. The time factor is challenging. The content is more challenging than the exam. And it's really to get you beefed up and jacked up. For those of you who haven't taken that mock exam, you need to go on down to tinyurl.com/PMP Micron. I'm going to put a link below so that you can do that. And you got 2 tries. And just allow it open your mind and have an experience, right? So for those of you that feel beaten up, I want you to know you got this. And I'm here to support you on the Praizion channel every step of the way. Those of you who are my students, I'm here to support you. So if you're blocked, if you got an impediment in any specific area, do reach out. Okay? I need you to stay in boss mode. I don't need you to stay in little wimp mode. Don't be a little wimp. Be a boss. Boss up. Have a positive mental attitude. Have a beast mindset. You got to be a beast. I keep saying it because the exam is a beast. You got to meet it with equal ferocity. Eat the exam for lunch. That's what I'm talking about. Okay? So I wish you all the very best as you continue to prepare. Beast up. Keep getting jacked up and ripped and showing up for your PMP exam success. I say hustle for your PMP exam muscle. Some people ain't hustling. They're just coasting. But those of you that are hustling and taking all these crazy mock exams and quizzes, including the awful ones that I've mentioned on this channel before, I see your pain. And when I say the awful ones, I'm talking about SH. All right, allegedly. All right, I'll see you very soon, my friends. Take it easy. Stay pumped. Stay motivated. Stay jacked and ripped. Eat the pmbok for lunch. And yeah, there could be some leftovers because I'm not asking you to eat the entire thing. I don't want you to eat the entire thing. Back in the day, I would say read the entire 6. And while it's not bad to read the entire thing, because I do read my pmboks in their entirety, I'm just saying don't read the entire thing thinking that you're reading it for success on the exam. No, success on the exam does not come from reading a whole bunch of pmbok guides. It comes from understanding the nuances and applying thought processes, right? Thought processing, like moving away from just blind memorization to actually problem solving. Whenever you encounter a question, define the problem. That's key. Once you have defined a problem, you have a better chance of success. If you haven't defined a problem, then you're likely going to flunk it because, defining the problem means what is the problem at hand? Is the problem in initiating? No, it says you're working on a project management plan. So an option that gives you something you've already done, you can disqualify those by using the define the problem, identify the root cause, generate alternatives, choose the best alternative, implement the alternative, and verify that it actually worked. I call it the dig sieve, and continuously apply that. And the more you apply the dig sieve, the more you'll see it come to life in the questions. All right, my friends, I'm off my soapbox. Have a great one. I'll speak to you soon.